So, now it's time to see if Superman's ready again. Let's not kid ourselves, folks. Since 1987, there have been many attempts to try and restore his presence and credibility back to the silver screen, and since Superman 4, oh good lord. I know Ryder likes that movie, but I can't watch it with a straight face now. We've seen some ideas that would have seen Kevin Smith's idea of Superman Lives, that would have seen Batman give a eulogy at his funeral. I would have liked to have seen that. Maybe Michael Keaton Batman, not Christian Bale Batman. No. Is this going to be the one that's going to make us speak about this in the same breath as Richard Donner's Superman? And for my personal taste, I honestly thought Richard Donner's cut of Superman 2 was way better. But what would I know? That's just my opinion. Let's run down the cast list. Amy Adams as Lois Lane. Wasn't impressed with Kate Bosworth back in 2006, even though Superman Returns is a guilty pleasure for me. But Amy Adams is a credible enough actress considering her roles as Brenda Strong in Catch Me If You Can and as the title role in Enchanted as Giselle. Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. Keep in mind, this guy used to be Cowboy Curtis on Pee Wee Herman's Funhouse back in the 80s, but you know him better as Morpheus. Welcome to the Matrix. I am a serious actor. What else to say? Michael Shannon. Once, there was Terrence Stamp as Zod, aka CM Punk. Kneel before Punk. Credible actor, considering this guy has played Richard Kuklinski in the biopic of the Iceman, oddly enough, which is what Stone Cold Steve Austin is based off of. Kevin Costner. What is there to say about him? The Bodyguard, been in Dances with Wolves, and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, arguably one of the greatest movies of all time, playing Jonathan Kent, good actor. Russell Crowe, what is there to say about this actor? He's been in Gladiator, Master and Commander of the Far Side of the World, and Robin Hood, which according to Random DCE was a pile of crap, but that's his opinion. And then we come to the man himself, Henry Cavill, the first British actor to play Superman ever. This guy's been somewhat moderately successful in The Tudors from 2007 to 2010 as Charles Brandon, and playing Humphrey in 2007 Stardust, trying to win the affections of Sienna Miller. Haven't we all? I've heard a lot of people poke this, but I'm going in it with a blank slate. But is this the one that's going to do it? Is it really going to be the one in Chris Nolan? Can you do for Superman what you did for Batman? 2.5 hours? We'll find out. After 2 hours and 23 minutes, I have come to the simple deduction that Man of Steel is a direct result of Richard Donner's Superman, Star Wars, Independence Day, and Aliens. I want you to keep this in your head and digest this. Has the apocalyptic factor of 1996 Independence Day, minus Will Smith, the fear factor and the freakiness of Aliens, and like I say, you got Star Wars with the type of scenario that General Zod and his merry minions have got. Alright, before I start to break this down and break it apart piece by piece, I will say this: The Man of Steel is a very good movie. It takes a bit of a while to get going, but for your money's worth, this is well worth watching and miles better than Iron Man 3, although at this stage, that's not saying much. Right, now let's break down the cast. Amy Adams as Lois Lane, I liked her. Very in your face, very creative, resourceful, a lot of moxie, loved her. Lawrence Fishburne, he's good as Perry White, but I felt they could do more with his character. I felt like he was being restricted in some way. I mean, this is Morpheus, for crying out loud. Kevin Costner, for the little time he was on screen, has this really deep, nurturing, yet understanding of Clark's gifts and abilities and why he has to, try and keep this side of him secret. Diane Lane, I don't know why, but I felt she was the wrong choice for Martha Kent. I didn't feel like she invoked or emoted enough. There was just she didn't really believe in what she was doing. Michael Shannon, have you been spending time with the legendary Sir Anthony Hopkins, because you were chewing up the scene more than he did in The Wolfman and Bram Stoker's Dracula combined. I'm just going to let you think what you will about that. Oh yeah, and also have to factor in, this is like Star Wars, Independence Day, Aliens, Superman, and it descended into Dragon Ball Z territory. Now, I'm not going to go into too many details as to why that has come into play, but when you see how some of the fight sequences go, you'll think, oh good lord, it's like watching Goku versus Vegeta, but in live action. 3D. If the 3D was there, there wasn't enough of it. In terms of the actual flight sequences, this is proper 21st century Superman, although Zack Snyder, good lord, did you have to do it with the slow-mo scenes? I mean, really. The one main weakness this movie has is it does deal a lot too much with exposition. It's always like setting up something to set up something to set up something else, and this is a Superman movie. You know, we just want to see the guy fight, you know, just see him save the world and whatnot, but that was one of its biggest problems, exposition. But for the money it was worth, and oh yeah, I forgot the man himself, Henry Cavill, Kal-El, Superman. I thought he was the right choice. You kind of get the sense that it was almost like Tim Daly's Superman from Superman the Animated Series back in the late 90s. You know, he's conflicted, he wants to know so much about who he is, what he represents, yet there's this soft, gentle touch that he doesn't want to hurt people. He wants to be this guy that they can rely on. And Russell Crowe, what is there to say about him? The man gave another stellar performance, limited by the time he was on there, but I think he took what Marlon Brando did, but he made more of it. And only minor spoiler I will give, dragons on Krypton. And I have a thing to say of this. I'm flying away from General Zod on my flying dragon. Your argument is invalid. So, to surmise this all in all, because I know Brandon's getting tired of holding the camera, Man of Steel. What is the night going to give? You know what? I'm going to simply give a finger to the press on this one. Man of Steel gets a must times 3. It's well worth the money. I'm MJ Knight. I'm done. Go watch Man of Steel. It is worth the money. I'm done.